Hey everybody, I'm here to show you, I'm going to start prepping meat sauce. Tomato sauce with meat. Okay, so I'm going to take this, the ground chuck, beef ground chuck. It's 80% lean, 20% fat. I'm going to saute it, in the beginning, fry it in the pan, no oil, and because there's enough grease in there, and I'm going to drain some of the grease off. And all I put in the meat is salt, a little bit of salt. And then I'm going to do the sauce, and I start it right there. I put in, I use Crisco pure vegetable oil. So there's a little in there. Use your judgment on what you like. There it is. I happen to use Crisco. You can use whatever you like. I use vegetable oil. And then I'm going to add garlic. I'm going to saute that very lightly. I don't want it brown. I just want it a little soft. You don't want it brown. I don't. So you just saute it lightly so the garlic is soft. I crushed basil leaves right here. Take 2 leaves. I did. 2 big leaves, whatever you want. It depends if you like basil or not. I like basil. That's what that is. And I'm going to saute that, like I said, very lightly. And if you don't get it soft, you know what? It's okay, because as you're going to cook your sauce, when you dump the sauce in, it's going to soften up in the oil. And then I use Hunt's tomato sauce. I have 3 cans for the 15 ounce each. And then I'm going to add the tomato paste. It just thickens it a little more. And when that, let that cook. Use your judgment, people. I'm the one that I don't use time. I just do it, cook it. You don't want to boil it a lot at all. Don't boil your sauce.
You do it your way.
Right, I do everything my way, and I don't go by recipe books. I go by what I know. So that's just use whatever. If you don't like Hunt's, use something else. I use Hunt's. I use the Hunt's tomato paste. And after you want to bubble it like a little bit. So when I do my stuff, I cook slow. I never use high heat. So you want to do that. And I used ground oregano, since I have the leaf basil. And then there's garlic. I use 2 large cloves of garlic, which is on that plate.
Nice and fresh.
Right. And then when the sauce is completed, just about completed, leave it out for maybe 10 more minutes, I add sugar. A little bit. It kind of balances out. So, the tomatoes, you know how tomatoes are. Sometimes they're a little sour, whatever, So put a little sugar in there. Don't omit, if you like your sauce sweet, put more sugar in there. I use my judgment again, how I like it according to my taste. And before the sugar, as I forgot to state, you put in I'm saying, man, not even 1/8 of a real little a pinch of a baking soda. Watch your sauce. It's going to foam up. All the acid that's in the sauce is going to come to the top. Takes that acid out of the sauce. And then I just use Morton iodized salt for the meat, which I forgot to state. And that's it. So.
And then we're gonna check in with you guys
when I do use a sweet onion too. It's right here.
Yeah.
And that's for the sauce also. Okay.
And then we'll check in with you guys when the sauce is done, to show the finished product.
Yeah, when the sauce is done, and maybe when the meat, everything when it's finished. I'll show you how it looks. Or maybe when I'm halfway through, I'll show you how that sauce just bubbles a little bit. You don't want to overcook that. Okay? Yes. And that's that. So I'll be back in a little bit. Not a little bit, actually. It's just a little bit for you guys, yes. And we'll see how it goes.
And it's now 7:34 p.m.
Yeah, 7:34. But this has to be done, at least I've always done it, the night before, like this. So what I'm using this sauce for, we'll talk about that later. But sauce is prepped the day before.
It's the night before Christmas.
Yeah, everything soaks in. The flavor will soak in. Their sauce will be thicker the next day. It has more flavor.
What is Mama T up to? She's making homemade sauce.
Yeah. Alrighty. So homemade sauce. We'll see you guys in a little bit.
All right.
Alrighty. Bye. Bye for now, right?
Yep.
Okay, I just wanted to check in. I am doing the sauce. There's the oil. See the garlic? You go close in that pot. See? Mine's actually getting a little brown. I just said don't brown it. And then I'm going to put in, I have 2 basil leaves. I don't think I'm going to add it all in, because I could always add more to it. Put your basil leaf, garlic, basil leaf. Mix it up. Stir it up. could always add more. Add more anything in that. Hunts. Put the 1 pan. Two. I wonder.
Okay.
You always better to have more sauce. You know what? Because if you don't, your sauce will be too dry when you add the meat to it. I use my judgment on that at the end also. I use 1.5 pounds of meat. I don't believe I said that, but there's 1.5 pounds. You can read the package, you'll see it on there. And like I said, I don't measure, but I'm gonna pour this over here. This is the oregano powder. Just use your judgment, people. You can approximately see. I don't measure like that. You like oregano, like I said, use what you like. I don't. That's all I'll use. Oregano powder. So that's in there.
You're good at using your judgment.
I'm real good at using my judgment because that's how I've done it, you know. That's how I've always cooked. I grew up in a couple people around. They don't use they follow a recipe, but they use your judgment. You make it always how you like it to taste. Sometimes in recipes there's just too much shit, you know. I mean, too much oregano, too much basil. I don't care for it. Okay, so that's that. That's when that heats up, and I have to put in. When that heats up, I'm going to put in the tomato paste. Not yet. And I always take the veins out of the garlic. And people wonder why some things taste bitter when you use garlic. Look how large the veins are in there.
Yeah, they're big.
Cut the basil. You cut the garlic straight down the center, long ways up and down. When you open it up, you split open, you're gonna have veins in there. Pull the veins out. Garlic is bitter. And here's the meat. See, you see all the grease? When I say, man, people actually put grease when they're deep, you know, when they're frying something. You don't need that. Look at this.
Yeah, there was no grease added.
I always let it go. See, and then I'll flip it, but I'm gonna get that grease out of there. I'm gonna put it in this cup, and later when I come back, you'll see how much grease I've gotten out of here. It's crazy. Oh, yeah. There's a lot of grease, you know. I'm a person, I don't like greasy food, I like good food, and greasy food is not good. So there you are. So
it's
I just wanted to.
It's also healthier for you without that grease.
That's my point, right? You know, and it's tasty if the stuff is seasoned right, and you don't even have to over season. You know what? It's good because over season is not. Then if you use too much salt, it's going to taste salty. I mean sour. You're going to taste the salt, but you're going to have a sour taste. That's what salt does. It's not good. And all I have on here is salt. Little, you know, I put salt into what I like. And when my meat is done, no, I don't add salt because it sits on top of the meat. It's not cooked in for flavor. Okay, so I just wanted to do a quick thing, you know, but man, I'm telling you, this is 80-20. The reason I don't do the, 90% or 95, it's too dry. Meaning the meat's dry. You'll get some, the lean, extra lean or lean, you'll get grease out. But something about it dries out the meat and you don't have that nice flavor. So I do 80-20. And then I'll stand here, I should say, and I will, you know, get rid of this grease as this keeps frying. But yeah, this is bad, but you can see all the grease, man. It's no good. So I'm gonna take out, you know, start draining the grease. I just push the meat and then I'll spoon it out. And I'm gonna put the grease in the cup. But look, and there'll be a lot more to come. All right. So I just wanted to check in a little, and then when that sauce, you know, it's nowhere yet. When this heats through, it has to heat through some. I'm not saying bubble though, it has to heat through. And the only one it heats through, add in, I'll use a 1/2 can of this tomato paste. An ounce, it's a small one. This is 3 ounce, I don't even know, this lighting.
Yeah, the lighting is no good.
That's fucked up there, man, let me see. Whatever, it's a small can of tomato paste.
Actually, right there, 6 ounce.
Holy shit, use half, 3 ounces more than enough. Unless you're making a big pot of paste, you know, tomato sauce. But that's it. All right, so I'll be back. Look at that. Look at this. Yeah, I'm gonna start draining this off. You go close. Go close. Look at the grease, and that's all from just the meat. You know, that's sick. Meaning, like I said, grease is not it's not good for you. It doesn't taste good.
That's right.
I like good food. I don't like greasy food. All right, we'll be back.
We'll check in
a little bit.
All right.
Okay. Okay, here we go. I did add, instead of, you know, sauteing the onion, I'm trying something different myself. I used 1/4 of this onion, and I put the onion in, then I put in See, tomato paste is in here. I'm gonna stir this up now. Trying to do this myself here. See how it goes. Yeah, because you need onion in there, but I didn't want to saute it. I'm gonna say I'm gonna put it in because it's gonna get soft anyhow. I don't brown the onion. I don't. And then this is gonna have to, this needs to come to a light boil as I stated. When that comes to a light boil, then I'm gonna let that lightly boil for about 15 minutes. And then I'm gonna put in the Arm & Hammer. I use Arm & Hammer baking soda. I just put in a little bit, like sprinkle just a little bit in there on top or in the center, lightly, and stir it in. And you'll see your sauce will foam up. You'll see all that foam. It's the acid coming out from the tomatoes. And I said I put the tomato paste in also right there. So that's what I used the Hans. And I did use a little tad more than the 3 ounce, a little more. And then after the baking soda, when all that the foam settles down, because I could probably scrape it off too, so I maybe let it pre-cook back in. It doesn't matter, I don't think. And usually I just let it cook back in. It foams up and it goes down because it happens fast. Then I'm going to add sugar, cane sugar, Domino's. And that too, I just use my judgment because I know my likings and my taste. So just put as much sugar as you like. If you don't like the sauce sweet, you don't put a lot in, just, it helps balance, like I said, it takes that tartness out of this tomatoes when you're not using fresh tomato. And then the grease, my goodness, from the meat. This is deep mug, but that's all grease from the meat. And then here's the meat I'm trying to, it's been up 25 minutes right now. What I have to do is brown it. Some people, same thing with the meat. I like my meat pretty much well done, and I like it brown. And usually when the meat's very, cooked well, when you cut it, the meat will be white. It'll have a white color inside, like a tanny color, or white, not white, just a tan color. If it's a little pink inside, I usually let it fry more. Okie doke, so that's where I'm at.
And the next time we'll see this is what? Probably the finished product, huh?
After this, it'll have a pot of sauce, and like I said, this will sit until it cools, and then I'll put it in the fridge, of course, overnight.
And then we're going to show you what it looks like before we cool it off.
Yeah, before I cool it off, I'll show you when I add the meat to it. So there we are. So we got the onion in there, the paste. Okay, there we go. So I'll be back.
Okay. Yummy.
Here we are. See that? You want it to go bubble, lightly. That's what I'm talking about. And now I'm going to add, you can see it, I'm going to add, see what I'm saying? Sprinkle a little baking soda in and watch people. Just a little bit, that's all you need. When this bubbles, it should start, it will foam. It's starting to foam around the bubbles. Let's see if and then you just stir the baking, watch. When you stir this in, look at the foam. You can't use too much because baking soda has a funny taste. Look at that. You see that? You go close to that. Look, see how it's foaming?
Yep.
Look at that. That's all foam.
That's like froth on a cappuccino.
Right. That's all the, that's old school thing there. You see that? And then I'm just going to leave that. But you can't not use, don't use a lot of this stuff. You seen what I put in? Just put a little bit. And that's, see, I can't scrape, I never scoop it off because it'll settle down. And yeah, you gotta...
it'll settle down and you just mix it in.
Right, just stir it. Don't do anything with your heat, leave it like that. And this will cook in, it's great. This smells, with the smell I should say we have.
A little bit of smell,
it's a pretend. You're like, it smells great, right? It smells really good. I know how this stuff smells, COVID took the smell away, though. Let's say that, so. But I slightly smell, but see, now look at, go close. See what I'm saying? See, it's all gone.
Yeah, it's
this
all
is why
settled.
you cannot take that foam off.
Ooh,
I told you.
All steamed up.
It goes away, And then that will come to a little bubble again. And you're going to have sauce on your stove. I mean, if you're a cook, that's what it's about, It ain't about meat. It's about, if You know what? The sloppier you cook or chef, the better your food tastes. And I know that. That has to come to bubble. And I don't know why the hell it should be. I mean, I don't get it. I just hired it a tad because of this. But that should come to bubble. There it goes. You're going to see it. You got to just go closer to the pot and then...
Yeah, there it is.
You know...
There it is.
The baking soda, you've seen it settle down. You see it foam up. Then I'm on a number 3 on this thing. And see, from low. And I just leave it at that. And then I'm going to let that come to a bubble again. When that it's coming to a bubble, but I could probably cheat a little bit. I hope it's okay. For sugar. And the reason I use sugar is, like I stated, I try to balance the flavors. Meaning I don't like my sauce sour, but I don't like it sweet. So I know how to, I know, like I said, I just pour in what I feel is right. I don't measure. So put a thin coating like this. I mean, again, it depends on how much sauce you all use.
That's nice.
And that's it, you know.
All
You'll be
right.
surprised and amazed how the sugar, and I'm going to leave that like that, and then when it bubbles, I wish it would bubble already. You know, I'm going to stir it in.
I can see it bubble a little bit.
I know, I don't, if you turn it too hot, you have sauce everywhere. You don't want that.
Yeah,
And
you
so,
just
you know,
let
then
it go slow.
stir
like
your
this.
sugar in, okay? I maybe add just a tad more. Trust me, it's not going to be sweet. There's a lot of sauce here. And then you put the meat in, you know, all the flavor absorbs in everything. I'm going to put another coating. You can see I'm not putting a lot. You make people think so, but
it's
no.
just a real
When you
light.
have sauce that much, so there you are. And I'm going to let that come to light bubble. I'll stir that in. And then I'm going to simmer it, which means I'm going to turn it down. Yeah, I'm going to turn it down to low. And I'm going to leave that simmer for 15 minutes.
Okay.
This way, you know, the sugars, the garlic, the basil leaves, the onion, you know, and the sauce, the Hunt's tomato sauce and the tomato paste, all the flavor is going to come together.
All right.
Okay, so I'm going to do that. Then when that, after it simmers, well, this is wrong. I'm a little screwed up. Before I simmer it and put the lid on, I'm going to add the meat. I'm forgetting about the meat.
Yep.
I'm used to not eating meat, and that's a fact. It's true. So the meat is good. The meat's all done. See? That's all good.
All right.
So I'm going to put the meat in there when that comes to a bubble. I wish I could wait. Just time, you know. But you can see it. It's bubbling.
It's bubbling, yeah.
But
I see it.
I like my food to be right. When that good bubbles all over the top,
Okay.
I'll be back.
We will check back in when we dump in the meat. As you can see, it's bubbling now, so it's coming to a bubble.
Okay, we'll wait. All right. Here you go, I'm back. Now that's how you want it to bubble, lightly bubble. I've been bubbling this right now for 4 minutes. After I put that second little bit of sugar on, because I like, I felt the first time wasn't enough. So you want it like that. When it gets like that, that's 4 minutes worth. And then put your meat in. After the meat's in, you'll stir this together. And then you're going to simmer this. I'm going to go 20 minutes. I said 15, but there's quite a bit here.
Yeah, there is quite a bit.
And I want the flavors to get through, but also, when it sits all night, that's the point, So you put that in, and then just stir it. Stir it good. Stir your meat in. Man, if I only had a full smell, you get it? But, man,
Well, I can
just smell
imagine
how
a
it's
full
really,
smell
really
what
good.
this smells like, because it smells good.
I could smell a little bit.
Yeah.
But nothing like, normally would. And there you are. See, look at that. It looks great. Now,
Wow.
see, I'm going to turn this down to low. If you have simmer, right there, I turned it down to low. I'll probably need to turn it down. This is going to simmer. I'm going to simmer mine 20 minutes. But when you're using sauce out of the can, sometimes I use plum tomatoes or fresh tomato and a little bit of sauce like that. But you have to boil it a little bit, at least cheese 10 minutes because it's in a can.
Looks fantastic.
So this sauce is going to stay like this now. I'm going to wait till now it comes to, again, a little boil. It's on low, but it will come because it's heated. And I'm going to put a lid on this, and then it'll simmer with little bubbles in it for 20 minutes. And I stir it, I'll stir it in 10 minutes. And I'll come back and stir it at the end. And take it off the heat, let it cool, and I'll put it in the fridge overnight. And it'll be really great tomorrow.
And we'll show you what it looks like when it's
Okay.
done. Yummy.
Here we go. Wow, check it out. I had to come back. I assumed 20 minutes if you listen to my video, but I wanted to come back. Look at the consistency now, and look how thick.
Oh.
You know what? When I was like, you know, I assumed 20 minutes, but it always, you know, it varies on the meat, the sauce. You know, you can see if you when you view the video. When I said I assumed 20 minutes, you'll see how watery the stuff was. Look at it now. It cooked. Look at that. It looks nice. This is so much better. But anyhow, people, I did this for 35 minutes with the lid on. But it looks like chili, doesn't it? My chili's really gonna have to do that once. But look at that. Now it's all completed now. All right, so that's it. It's done. I'm gonna put this in the fridge. Not right now, of course. This thing's out to cool for 3 to 4 hours, maybe 5 hours. Who knows? When it's cool, it's cool, you know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take it off. I'm gonna put on a cooling board. Let this cool. Then I'm gonna put it in the refrigerator, and I'll continue tomorrow. We'll continue with part 2, and that'll be the only part, right? It'll be 2 parts. So today was the sauce. Tomorrow I'm doing stuffed shells with ricotta, and I'm doing a ricotta recipe and stuff the shells. And you all see it when everything's... Well, tomorrow we'll just get into more. How's that?
Yeah, more fun.
Alrighty, everybody.
It's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, it's Christmas Eve. My goodness. Okay.
All right.
I will see you guys later. How's that? Okay. Tomorrow. All right. Okay. Putting the sauce in the refrigerator. It's 2 a.m. See you guys tomorrow and later today, right?
2:22 a.m.
Yeah, whatever. Oh, 222. I don't like that fucking number. Okay, but it's supposed to be 2:20 a.m.
Merry Christmas, everybody!
See you Christmas later in the afternoon.
Look at that sauce. It's like
looks pretty good.
It's meat sauce, but it's like homemade chili.
Look at it. This is a good meat sauce.
Mmm.
Yeah, this is really good.
That is amazing.
It was on the spoonie.
Ooh,
yeah. That's good homemade shit. Good stuff. I shouldn't say shit, right?
It's such good shit.
All right. See you guys later.
All right. We'll be back with some more fun tomorrow.
Okay.
It'll be good. And this looks yummy and it smells good.
All right. See you later. Hi everybody! I'm gonna have jumbo stuffed shells, so I'm gonna prepare my ricotta cheese filling for it. Let's get started here. I'm just showing the ingredients right now, okay? So of course, I love Miss Ellie's traditional ricotta cheese.
It's so good.
It looks really yummy. How's that? It looks good. All right, that's it. And parsley flakes. I'm not going to get into the ingredients. My videos are getting too long. I like to short it up, short and sweet, right? Then Miss Ellie's grated Parmesan cheese. I love Miss Ellie's. I don't care for the Kraft product, but Miss Ellie's is great. Then I'm going to add ground black pepper. I use ground oregano. Mozzarella shredded cheese. Sugar. To your liking. You know what, ricotta real sweet, but I need to add some sugar. And 2 eggs, and they will be lightly beaten. I'm going to beat up the eggs, people. Okay, we're going to have 2 slightly beaten eggs. Okay, so there you go. So there it is. So I'm going to get rolling and mix up my filling for this stuffed shells right there. But mine will blow these fuckers away here.
This is a Christmas Day feast.
And it's Christmas. It's Italian style this year. No roast duck. You know, nothing fancy. Alrighty. Let me get my little self to work here and whip this up.
Alright.
Alrighty. Okay. Ricotta cheese filling is complete. It looks good. I'm going to try to stir this. I'm videoing myself. So if it looks screwed up, don't worry. It's just me. I'm doing this alone. See, it looks good. This stuff is really good.
Because you chose to be camera woman.
Right. That's okay. Here we go. This is going to be great. I can tell by the consistency again. It's going to be really good. See, it don't stick on the spoon. If it sticks on the spoon, it's going to be too sticky. It's going to be icky. It's great. All right, so that mixed up very well. So I got that complete. Hey, the jumbo shell box is empty. You know why? Here they are. They're in a bowl. And this is a serving bowl. It's a 12-ounce box, so I didn't count the shells. I'm not going to stand here counting it, but quite a bit. And don't forget when they boil in my water that I have prepared here, you know, and you have to put, you don't have to, but I do, a little bit of some kind of oil, you know why? You take the pasta out, it'll be all stuck together. So you have to put something in. And so I'm just going to wait for this to come to, I always do a light boil. And then I'll turn it down so it very lightly boils, because you know, and then because you want your pasta to just basically sit in hot water.
It's looking really good.
It turns out good. All right, so I'm gonna wait for that, and then that boils a little more. I'm gonna put in the jumbo shells, and then, you know, after they're all cooked, I'm gonna stuff it with my ricotta cheese filling. I'm telling you, this stuff looks great. So
oh yeah,
looks really good.
Beautiful.
Okie doke. There we go. All right, I just pulled the shells out of the water, and I poured spring water over it, you know, slow the cooking process. I'm not using city water, I never do. So they're done. The consistency's well. But what I forgot to tell y'all is when you boil these, lightly boil them. Don't boil them like crazy. Have the water lightly boiled, and only boil them for 7 to 8 minutes. Being that you want them somewhat firm, because they're going to go in the oven, which they will cook the rest of the way. If you don't, you know, you don't do that, your pasta's going to be really soft and probably mushy. And also, when you drop the uncooked shell into the water, make sure it's in horizontal. No, I'm sorry. Vertical position, up and down. So when you drop it in the pan of water, the center will fill with water, the center of the pasta, because there's an opening. When you drop it in, it will fill with water and they'll go to the bottom. Otherwise, they're going to float on top for a while, and you're going to have to push them down with a spoon, or when they start getting probably half cooked, they're going to sink. So that's that.
Follow those directions, you get good shells.
Heck yeah. Okay, I'm here. I wanted to show you guys how it's very easy to stuff these shells. There they are in a strainer. Like I said, they're half cooked. Okay, and there's one plate over there. This is my ricotta cheese, you know, mixed, as I said that earlier. And there's a plate over there to the left, which I stuffed. And I'm like, well, you know, I might as well show you guys. It's not hard to do. And when you do this, see, that one I stuffed too much, so that's going to leak. You want to stuff them where, you know, the shell closes. Because as they bake, this stuff puffs up, the ricotta, because there's egg in here too. You know, the egg, it's going to puff up as it bakes in the oven. So that's another thing. All right, and the shell, see how nice that is?
Oh, that's really nice.
You know, and that's the thing, you know, when it's not cooked all the way, you can work with this. Meaning, you know, if it was real soft, these things are going to tear for you. You won't get it right. That's why you also, see, they have to be half cooked. Like I said, they're going to bake in the oven. And there you go, you know? See?
That's a perfect stuffed shell.
That's a perfect, yeah, it's great. I don't know about perfect, but it's, you know, it's the way it should be. Don't put too much. Put some here, you know, you need 2 hands like I do now. Just open it as much as you can.
Just move it on up
and
here.
And use a small teaspoon. Drop it in. That's all you need. And close it. See how nice? The stuff, trust me. And you know, if you have any extra ricotta cheese, I'll see if I do too. If I have any left, what I'll do is, when I put this in the pan, what I'll do is, if there's extra, I'm gonna swipe it on top of the shells. Use your head that way, you know. Swipe it on top of the shells. I don't like to do that, but I'm gonna use the cheese. I love ricotta, and then put your sauce on top. So there you go. I just wanted to drop it real quick like this, and I'm gonna continue doing this, you know. And that's that. So there you go. So there you go. Close it up. There you are. It's very easy. Yeah, unless I make things look easy, but I don't know. No, there you are. Like, open it. Open it. Use the smallest teaspoon. Drop in. There you go. And your shell will close. Ta-da! There you are, folks. Alrighty, I'm gonna continue with this, and I'll be back when, like I said, I'm gonna put it in the baking pan, and I'm gonna toss it in the oven.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
looks very good. Doing great so far. Look at that. And look at
All right,
that.
we're out of here, and I'll see you when I put it ready. Put them in the pan and put the sauce on it. Yum.
Yummy.
The sauce has been in the fridge all night. It'll be great.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yummy.
All right. Here's the sauce, as I stated, what I prepared yesterday, as you see in the beginning of the video. It's really great. You see, it thickens it. And I could kind of smell this. It smells really good, meaning because of the COVID, you know. And it's out of my system. I'm just saying, still don't have my sense of smell. But, man, this is great. And then there I put in the pan. I'm going to start with one layer. And the reason, you see it not too thick is because this is going to heat up in the oven. The sauce is going to get, soft, whatever. And it's going to melt itself through. It's cold right now. Everything's cold. But that's how I like it. That's how it should be. So I put that meat sauce in. Then I have this here. You can just stay above this pan.
We'll stay above this, okay.
Just layer this. See how nice? These are cool. These are nice. I'll angle them a little bit. They look good. Here and there I got some. That's the oven. It's ready, but I'm not. All right. Layer this in. Maybe I should zip back with this because this takes a while to layer all this. You're just going to layer it and then you're going to put, I'll probably come back.
That looks nice.
I'm going to do a double layer. Usually it's a single layer. Okay, so this is what you do. You just start off and then. So. Looks good.
Oh, yeah.
This one here will probably, it doesn't matter. They're all good. Look at them, nice. Do it on an angle, so hopefully I should squeeze a little more tighter together, Okay. I have another plate. There we go.
Ooh.
Just, I'm gonna move these over.
That'll be for layer 2.
I'd like to really stick with the one layer,
You want me to keep it on this plate, or?
Okay, that's cool. I'm gonna tuck a little more in here. This is gonna be good. See, people, the sauce, I did that yesterday, Christmas Eve, and then it's things like this that it's time consuming. I don't mind, but shit, it's all eaten in what, 5 minutes? I got 2 days of prep in here, It's a lot of work. It's not bottled sauce, it's not ricotta cheese bought, or already mixed. I don't even know if you find it because I don't do that stuff. I had a little ricotta cheese left, see that? So this is something I never do, but I'm gonna put some over the little, some over the tops. Like you probably heard me say, well, it's gonna leak out. Yeah, it would, if you stuff your shells too much. But I don't want to waste this. I love ricotta cheese, so we'll do this on the bottom layer, right? That's what I'm gonna do. I don't throw it away. Just put some on.
Yeah, why waste?
I love it. This stuff, it's good. There we go. Okay, that's cool. And then I have to put a little more sauce on top. Just trying to get. And after this, then I'll continue the second layer, but I just wanted to show you. And this video is probably going to be too long, and I'm one of those that don't like long videos. I don't do this for anything.
Hey, this is a long meal
I just do it for the hell
to
of it.
prepare.
But it's a lot of time goes in this stuff. Unless you want to buy bottled sauce, and I don't know what the hell, because I don't know. I don't half-ass stuff. When I cook. Do it right. So. This is the bottom layer, so top layer's got to be great, But it's time consuming. I don't mind doing it. How much I've always cooked, a lot. And I just, whatever, that's what it is. All right, let me put it in here. Oops. Try to cover the pasta. Like I said, it's gonna That's the bottom layer. So the top, I have a lot of sauce in here yet. Oh my gosh, here. All right. It's good. I was gonna do lasagna because basically this is your lasagna, my lasagna recipe. So what's the difference? You want? I chose to go with the stuffed shells. I made lasagna last time. It was about months ago. So nah, let's do stuffed shells. So there you go. They're all covered.
It looks so good.
And it's gonna be covered now with the other layers. So after then top it, you know, with that. And then I use the Maselli's Parmesan. Sprinkle some grated cheese. My hand's probably in the way, but it's lefty.
I could get around it.
Sprinkle this over here. Over the sauce, meat sauce. And then you take your mozzarella cheese. People can tell I love cheese. It trust me, this would be really good.
Well,
if you don't use enough,
love cheese.
I mean, if you're gonna skimp, don't cook. Right? Don't bake anything. Do it right. This will melt. And I used to buy sliced cheese. I get it sliced at a deli. You know what? This you can get it sliced thin. It'll melt fine too. But this works out better. I like doing this. So I started getting a shredded cheese. I noticed I like it better. Alrighty. So there's one layer. What I'm going to do is I'm going to continue on, and I'll show you before I put this in the oven.
Okay.
Alrighty. Let me finish with the second layer.
So far, it looks good. Let's see what it looks like afterward.
Alrighty.
Good.
Okay, here's my step. I have this is layer number 2. Looks good.
It sure
Try to get it
does.
slug over this like this now. Oh, looks good, people. Sure, it's going to be really good.
Oh yeah.
And what I'm going to do, when you get to the last layer like this, the reason you don't see all the cheese on it is the only thing you want to put on it is the Maselli's. I'll do this myself again. Put the Maselli's Parmesan. And the reason for that is you want to put, I'll tell you, just sprinkle on some Parmesan. This will just soak into the sauce. That's what this will do. Just doing this myself. Put on how much you like. You know, it's going to soak it anyhow into the sauce. I'm a cheese person. I love cheese. All right, so that's it, okay? That's cool for me.
Ooh, yeah, look at that.
All right, so sprinkle it with your desired liking, right?
Mm-hmm.
On the grated Parmesan.
We got a little bit of mozzarella.
And 10 minutes before I take this out of the oven, you have to cover this with foil too. And leave a little crack on the corner or on the side. So air, you don't want it to really steam a lot inside. Leave a little bit of openings on the foil, either on a corner, on a side, whatever you like. Because depending on what shape pan you have, I'm gonna leave mine on one of the corners. Probably this corner right here. I leave it so some air could get underneath. I don't want to steam it totally, because I'm afraid it's going to turn out soggy, or the sauce will get watery because everything's steaming under the foil. So that's why you need to leave a little opening with your foil. Okay, and 10 minutes before, this needs to be in the oven 30 minutes. Now this is going to vary according to your oven, okay? On temperature, bake on 350. Me too, I might go 20, I might go 30 minutes, because basically everything's cooked. What you're doing now is you're heating everything, heating the sauce, heating the ricotta, the eggs, of course, that's in the ricotta, you want, that has to bake somewhat, and you're melting the cheese. So everything's already cooked.
And then the mozzarella.
So, right, you're going to cover this with foil right now, how you see this in the pan. This bakes total for 30 minutes. I said varying on your oven, temperature 350. And some ovens run warmer than others. You're going to cover that with foil, and there it is. Bake on 350. Alrighty. Last 10 minutes. If your oven's real hot, it's going to come out sooner. But leave opening with the foil, as I stated, on a corner somewhere, so you don't want the steam just stay under the foil for the whole 30 minutes. The last 10 minutes, take it out and sprinkle your mozzarella. cheese on top, you know, of the sauce and the Parmesan. Cover it with foil at that point. Because you have 10 minutes to go now. You can seal the last 10 minutes with the foil. That's just because you want to melt the cheese. Now, if you're going to go and put the cheese on top, you know, you stick it in the oven for 30 minutes, that cheese is going to be sick. I'll tell you that. It's not going to turn out right.
Yeah.
So, all right, that's it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to cover this with foil. Take it out, like I said, 10 minutes prior to the 30 minutes. 20 minutes in, I'll take that out. I'm going to put on mozzarella cheese. I'm going to cover it totally, seal the corner or wherever, you know, the opening seal it all the way for the last 10 minutes so the cheese will melt really nice. And I'm going to remove it from the oven. And that's it.
We'll see what it looks like when it's done.
Okay. All right, let's take the foil off and see this finished shells here. All I can say is I kept this in, people, 1 hour, being that I did a double layer. So use your judgment, as I stated. You know, if you do a single layer as it should be, I made double. So you could see mine. If you do a single layer,
now I can smell it.
Yeah, it would probably be the 30, maybe 45 minutes on a single layer. That's double. Mine is doubled. And plus, don't forget the sauce is cold. The ricotta's cold. So, yeah, just so you know, so I don't stir anybody wrong. Double layer, mine was in 1 hour to heat. You know, heat through and melt the cheese, as you see. Single layer, use your judgment. To keep it on 350, the oven. Check it at 30 minutes. Maybe I said 20 to 30, but ovens vary too. Okay, well, that's done. Looks good, and I smell it. It smells really good.
Yeah.
And what I'm going to do is I'll put some on our plates and then come back.
All right.
Okay, here's dinner on our plates. The stuffed jumbo shells at ricotta. Here we go. I eat a little bit, so you can go close to it. There you go. It turned out really great, people. Looks good. There's yours.
Mine's always bigger.
Oh, now it's, look at it. I double layered it. Like I said, look at the pan. Something when they see it took an hour.
Now let's go in the pan and try to get a look on the insides here.
Yeah. Alrighty, so we're going to eat. And Merry Christmas, everybody.
Yeah, Merry Christmas from our family to yours, and
just from me and you. That's it. Okay.
And we're gonna eat this, and it's gonna be really good.
Okay.
So.
Bye-bye.
Hope you enjoyed this video. Merry Christmas, everybody. And now I'm gonna eat. Yum. Stuffed shells.